All right, everyone, welcome back to a new season of After the Salt Settles. We are here for THL Season 4, Week 2, SHL Season 1, Week 1. We have a whole new lineup for what you can see and expect tonight. We will be covering some SHL content for the first time, which makes sense because this is its first season. We'll be going over a week review of what went down last week in the first week of SHL. We'll also do an SHL team power rankings. We'll review that with you guys, and then we'll go into the THL league standings like we did last season, in addition to the THL player power rankings, and we'll close up with the THL top dogs. So joining us tonight, Jerry Damage couldn't make it, but fortunately, T.H. Lemur was able to step in, so he'll be guest hosting with us tonight.
Yo.
How you doing?
Hey.
Doing pretty well, to be completely honest with you. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Great.
I'm doing well myself. We also have NACL, a.k.a. Knackle.
Knackle Spackle.
Gets me every time. How you doing, Knackle?
I'm doing good. Good.
Good. So it looks like we're dropping frames. It looks like my mic is low. We're having the classic tech difficulties that we have here on After the Salt Settles, but we'll get through this. I'll let you guys do most of the talking. So why don't we get right into it? We can talk SHL. Knackle, you want to take us through?
Yeah, man, sure. So we had the first ever, week of the Selfless Hero League, and we had 100% submission, 100% games played. So we were very happy with that. It was a very good week, for the first week. Everybody seemed excited to play. Everybody got their matches in, so it was really good. It's really good. So we just want to go over couple of the matches. The four, we only had four series this week.
Sure. Well, before we even go into what happened, I'm curious to hear from both of you guys, maybe some impressions that you have of these teams before you even saw results, just as they were being built.
All right, Salt, you want to field that first, or should I?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can just pick my couple that I thought was going to be really good. I thought that Enthalpy was going to be really good with D. Lyman in there, and also Pocahontas in Space was going to be really good, with Mange and G-Nets on it. Everybody else, a lot of teams had some new players on it, so I wasn't quite sure, how everybody was going to do. But those were like the two teams that I thought would do really well,
Yeah, you singled out my picks pretty perfectly, actually. Because as I was looking at the list and being obviously in the loop with Pocahontas in Space as that was getting built, I was extremely happy with what G-Nets and Pumbas ended up doing with it, and it's looking great. They unfortunately got a loss this week, which we're going to go into, but as the season progresses for SHL, I think they're going to do pretty fantastic. And the same does go for sorry, excuse me. The same does go for Enthalpy, because D lineman on top is always formidable, and then you have a solid lineup of the Anarchists and Jim Philos. It's going to be a super interesting season. Like, the rest of the teams are no slouches either. Obviously.
No,
Like, Explosive Sheep just took out Pocahontas in space week 1, which is a pretty big upset in the SHL. So, Dire Spare 3-0ing Mange.
Rip.
Under certain conditions.
Yeah. Gosh.
Well, I mean, for me, I was most hyped about Kawasaki Ninjas and Defiance Henchmen because, to my understanding, all 6 of these players, or rather, no 6 of these players have had any previous THL or SPL experience. Maybe Joe Harstone kind of sounds familiar, but Hockey Boys, AEO, Merkin Pie, Clobber to cover. I don't recognize these names, so it's cool to see some brand new teams with brand new faces come in. And both of them brought in some points.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very glad that, some players that weren't able to make THL found a home anyway, to be able to get some good matches in against good players.
Yeah, so like you said, man, 100% submission, 100% participation. Cheers to you and Jerry and the other guys on your board who handle SHL. Wait, Lima, are you working with them?
Oh, yeah, obviously.
That's right. And Detrucci,
right? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
it's
cool.
Detrucci, Salt, myself, and Jerry.
Yep.
Well, you guys have done a great job. Let's talk about week 1.
All right, let's get right into it.
All right, so we can go over all the matches that we had. I'm most familiar with my team's match, the Silent Storms. We played against the Old God Squad. Pretty good week for us. Jerry picked up 2 points, didn't quite pull it off. I want to say that he lost the last couple of games. Dunham's brought really cool decks. I know people give him shit, man, but I really enjoyed playing against him. So really, really good decks. I liked his mage that he brought. It was really nice. And we had a good week, metagaming over there, trying to not be the real Silent Storm and lose. So we got it done. It was fun. Let's see here. We have Explosive Sheep. They played against Pocahontas in space. That's probably the one that we want to talk about, right? Had the Explosive Sheep came around, with the surprise upset, off the misban, no ban, some kind of not ban.
Oh yeah, let's touch on that real fast. Actually,
sure, go ahead.
So the situation that ended up happening, as you can see, Dire Spare ended up 3-0ing Mange, and that is, I don't want to say in large part because Dire Spare is a very good player, a very thoughtful player, but Mange did not prepare a ban deck, and per SHL and THL rules, that means that no class is banned from his opponent, so his opponent can bring whatever he wants. Mange happened to bring a lineup that targeted Shaman, and without the Shaman ban that he was planning on, Dire Spare ended up being able to win with that Shaman 3 times in a row, as Mange's decks were not prepared to combat it. So yeah, that's the story with that 1 seed SHL matchup. And then G-Nets and Bitbeaker, from what I hear, G-Nets said they had a great series, and then Rogue and Vegan Zombie ended up taking out Rogue, and what I'm sure was a good series as it was 3-2. But yeah, that whole match is kind of super interesting and is going to perhaps shape how SHL is moving forward. You can't just have favorites. You have to have people get upsets, just like they pulled off on Pocahontas in space this week at Explosive Sheep. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very good. The next one was Synergy Gaming, I guess, XG against Enthalpy. And another upset, I would say, as XG came up with the win. And Tranador, who I'm not familiar with, beat D Lyman.
Yeah, these
So we'll
look like some of the closest series that happened.
Yeah. And then God's Gift didn't. The Anarchists managed to beat him, and then Dexter, I guess he's returning after a little bit of couple of games away to come back, and he picked up a nice 3-1. So pretty good series there. I mean, 10-7. That's really that's really close. And then the last match was the Kawasaki Ninjas Rule. Great name against the Defias Henchmen. And
the names in SHL are on point. Just pointing that out. All of them are great.
they really are. And we had the Henchmen pick up the only win for the gold division for the week. And it was another close one, but Joe Hearthstone and Hockey Boys were able to pick up wins and gave their team a solid win. And Hockey Boys brought Paladin.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I wonder if it was Zuladin.
Oh, you can stop talking now. Let's move on.
Moving right on.
Triggered.
You know what I wanted to hear from you guys, because I know you guys being on the board for SHL, you worked really hard to create a more engaging experience for these players. Can you talk a little bit about the structure of the season and playoffs and championships? Because is it the same as THL? Is it different?
It's roughly the same. They're gonna go, play to the end, and then it's going to be top 2 from each division.
Yeah.
And then they'll be seeded, and then you play out from there, just like in THL. So we're gonna have a full season, a full playoffs, based on the number of teams, obviously, and a championship and everything, man. So very excited.
We were really, really ecstatic when we found out the number of teams that were going to be competing in SHL this season, because being its inaugural season, having 8 full teams is really impressive, and is going to allow us, instead of just having what we were planning originally, which was just a championship and no playoffs, it's going to allow us to have at least a playoff round before the championship, which is super cool. So props to everybody who signed up and is making SHL what it is. Got that 100% matches played, 100% class submission. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm still excited about the 100% matches played and everything. That's really awesome. Compared to the SPL last season, I think it's going really well.
Yeah, it's fantastic, definitely.
Yeah.
So I look forward to watching this as it goes every week, and seeing how you guys develop with all these teams, all of these players, especially Vegan Zombie, who's my favorite man.
Vegan Zombie. That's like
I don't know who you are, but I want you to win every time. Cool. So, Lemur, why don't you introduce something new that we have going on?
Oh, of course I'll introduce something new. We got the SHL Power Rankings. You all know what Power Rankings are. Have them in THL every season. Great source of controversy and great source of just some straight up numbers and opinions of people from around the league. But now we got the SHL Power Rankings, which means that we are going to have them ranked every week, 1 through 8, just like the regular THL Power Rankings. Obviously, it's last hero standing over at SHL, which means that these power rankings are going to be a little bit different. And they are different from what I assumed would happen at the end of week 1, as I said, with Pocahontas and Space going down early. But I'm going to go ahead and go right into the actual power rankings. As I said, there are 8 spots. We're going to go from the bottom up, I think, because that seems like more fun.
Yep.
Yeah. So in the number 8 spot, we have the Old God Squad. They have a super strong roster, but they weren't able to actually translate that into a win week 1, as Dunamis fell 0-3 to U-Salt, and Owen Deffen lost to Eridan 1-3. Eamon Wolf did manage to find a victory over Jerry Damage, which is a shining spot for them. But they're going to try to get their first win of the season against Explosive Sheep. At number 7, we got my personal favorite name in SHL, Kawasaki Ninjas Rule. I have no idea where that came from, but it's amazing. They did lose week 1, unfortunately, against Defias Henchmen. Although 2 of the series were very, very close. They both went to game 5. This week, they're hoping to be able to get their first win against Enthalpy, although obviously that's going to be a very hard task for them to accomplish, as Enthalpy is looking pretty solid. But that we're going to touch on that in about 2 steps. In the 6th place position, Pocahontas in Space, which is G-Nets and Puma's BFF, both on Team Avatar and THL. That is their team. They had high hopes coming into this season, and this is not how they wanted to start it off. But it even says it on this right here. It's one of the top rosters preseason. Pocahontas in Space lost to Explosive Sheep in week 1, but they are having a matchup against Synergy Gaming that they are going to try to win next week, which I'm very excited for. In the 5th place spot, we have Enthalpy, which, as I said, had a very close series against Synergy, but did not win. However, they did look really, really solid against Synergy, from what I heard. Mm-hmm. And they managed to pick up 7 points, which is really good. That was I think that was either the closest or one of the closest series that we had. Moving on to number 4, we have Explosive Sheep. They got off to a great start week 1 by picking up an 8-6 win over Pocahontas in Space. Previously mentioned, Dyrus Bear got that victory over Mange. 3-0. Vegan Zombie, your favorite, got a 3-2 win over Rogue, who is currently playing HOTS Chair League. And they have a great big old challenge in week 2 when they face off against the Old God Squad. Old God Squad is going to try to come out strong and to send a message to Explosive Sheep and the rest of the league by taking a win there. In the number 3 position, we have Defias Henchmen. They had a really strong showing week 1, and they won 10-7 against Kawasaki Ninjas Rule. Joe Harstone and Hockey Boys 3 picked up wins over Clobbert and Delcaver, with AO picking up 2 points in his defeat, which is always, obviously, you want to pick up as many points as possible, so getting those 2 wins is really important. And then they're going to be facing off against the Silent Storms next week, which is going to be a big, big challenge.
Yeah.
In the number 2 position, we got Diamond's Crew, Synergy Gaming. They started off great by defeating Enthalpy 10-7. So we had 2 10-7 series, actually. Defias Henchmen and Kawasaki Ninjas, and Enthalpy and Synergy. Captain Dexter HS did pick up the victory, along with Tranador against God's Gift. No, not against God's Gift. My mistake. God's Gift contributed 2 points in his defeat by the Inikas, which I said is very important. This week they're going to be facing Pocahontas in Space, who's going to try to come out with a vengeance and restore what they had at the beginning of the season, which was everyone's confidence to win. And in the number 1 position, I think Salt should do the honors in this one. I don't know. I hear getting number 1 fuels him. So
It's probably a typo, but I got Jerry on the team too. So if you can't be 9th, you got to be 1st, right? So take that how it is. We had a good week. Lost the least amount of games, so it's early. It doesn't mean anything.
What a humble guy.
Thanks.
Oh, right.
The humility we all know from Salt.
To further delve into that a little bit, what actually happened in that series is that they just tore into the Old God Squad. They only let him put up 5 points. Arthur did get that 3-0 over Dunamis. Aaron Dan picked up a 3-1 over Owen Deffen, and then Jerry got his 2 points. That's actually a common theme. A lot of people went 3-2.
Yep.
It seems like the majority of them are either sweeps or 3-2, which is kind of what you want to see. points-wise, and they are going to be facing Defias Henchmen in Week 2, which will be a big matchup for both Defias Henchmen and for Silent Storms, as they are number 1 and 3 on the list. So yeah, that actually winds up the SHL Power Rankings. I'm really looking forward to what we can do with these, like, in the weeks to come, because of different things that can happen. All of the rosters look completely fantastic. So I'm ready for this season, and I'm ready for this season of Power Rankings for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, man. I echo all that. I don't even have anything to add because Lemur, you did a great job covering it all. So.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate.
Yeah, that's SHL Week 1. Next week we'll have more data and we could do more fun things with individual players and how they're performing. So you guys can look forward to that stuff next week regarding SHL.
There will probably be some sort of player rankings as well after the first couple of weeks, I think.
For sure.
Yep.
So, Salt, why don't you run us through THL League standings?
All right. Yes, for sure. The standings after last week, we have Team Rank 5 sitting at number 1, scoring all the points.
Nothing new there.
Can't say it's not expected.
No, that team is pretty scary. We have Entropy at 2 with 40 points. That's pretty good. You know, they're putting up a lot of points. Danger Zone is 3rd. Aeon is 4th. We have NWA at 5. The Defias Brotherhood at 6. Yep. Avatar, and then the Harry Generals.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Skipped right over Avatar. You were like, at 6, we got Defias Brotherhood, Avatar, and the Harry Generals.
Oh, gosh.
I was gonna give you a chance in a minute to, you know your team much better than I do, so I was gonna let you talk on that. Right now it's not really any playoff races. You know, we got the Yogg champs still with 29 points. You know, just out of the top 8. Damaged Ones, Temporal Legends, Team 1600 Dust has moved up. You know, quite a bit after last week.
Dude, they did a number on us, man. Let me tell you. Don't sleep on the 1200 boys.
Oh, no. It's 1300 now. There's no way it's 1200 after those wins.
They're easily at 1300, man. No, I couldn't walk after last week.
I mean, maybe they sandbag week 1.
Yeah.
You never know.
They are a little bit lower, right?
That's right. Then following up the last quarter, we have Team Golden Wisp, Noob Central, Netherstorm, and then Zenergy. Zenergy and Netherstorm are tied with 15 points. Does any of these surprise you? As of right now, I mean, Netherstorm surprises me.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to say. Netherstorm was on a lot of people's radar to be pretty high up this season in general. And after 2 weeks, seeing them be second to last is pretty much surprising to everyone but Mange. Mange was the only one who predicted them to be lower on the list, which is what ended up happening. It also surprises me that Noob Central's down there.
Yeah, they were ranked pretty high.
Yeah, they were ranked pretty high. They got a high value acquisition in the offseason with Ray C coming to the team.
Yep.
They just seemed like a team to me that could be higher on this list that just aren't after 2 weeks. Unfortunately, the points haven't worked out for them. And the loss this week did not help at all. But
no, not at all.
Yeah, those are the two that really stick out to me, as I think they should probably be a little bit higher.
Right. Well, how is your team sitting at 7?
Yep.
How's everything feeling over there right now?
The meme right now is that Avatar is imploding. I'm going to tell you that Avatar is not, in fact, imploding. We're chugging on. We got to win this week to put our series count to 1-1 this season. Unfortunately for us, we are going into a very, very heated week against Team Rank 5 this next week, who is currently sitting at 1st on this list, which it's going to be a hard matchup for sure. We'll get more into that matchup specifically later, but what I'm going to say right now is that Avatar, we're still here. Don't worry. We're
Right
gonna
on.
get there this season.
Hey, 30 points is pretty good, and I mean second right now in green, so that's definitely not bad.
And we
what's-
should talk about. Oh, go for it, Nate.
Oh, I was just going to mention that, what's different as, last season we followed a 9-week season that included wild cards. This season we sized down 4 teams, and we won't be having those wild cards. So it's even more of a tighter race to secure that spot. You got to get top 8 or it's bust.
Yeah.
Yeah, last season you could feel pretty good kind of no matter where you were at most of the season. And this season it's kind of important, to get off to a decent start.
One thing I think we should definitely talk about is look at Danger Zone on this list.
I know.
Look at them. They are sitting pretty in that 3rd place spot. And that's something that not a lot of people, I don't think anyone would predict that Danger Zone would be this high after 2 weeks, but there they are. So that's definitely something you need to look out for, is just all the guys at that squad over there.
Man.
Yeah, they're putting in work.
I was feeling good about week 1, and then we got into the Danger Zone, and they spanked us and made us call them daddy. So we'll never forget what we learned that night.
Yeah, like just this last week, we saw them the only person on their team that lost this past week was Yalo in the 1 seed. And just down the line in 2, 3, 4, 5, it was 3-1, 3-2, 3-0, 3-1. So there was only one 3-2 series this entire time. They convincingly beat into the damaged ones this week.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they develop and keep growing.
Yeah, it's cool. It's an exciting season. A lot of teams have some new faces, and we have some entirely new teams, and everybody's putting their best out there. I think it's going to be really, really fun to watch this one.
Oh yeah.
So that's that. We'll see how things look next week. Anybody have any predictions on how this might change next week?
Oh, I mean, I feel like hopefully we'll beat Aeon. I mean, that doesn't help us necessarily jump in the actual, these numbered, type standings, but hopefully we can, put up more and catch Entropy, a little bit more this week. So, I mean, hopefully we can move up some. And I guess if the Harry Generals pull off a good week, they can just swap with Aeon.
Right.
Yeah.
They're a 4-point difference. That's pretty close. You and Entropy, 5-point difference.
And that's that's a big if too. Like I'm not even. Aeon's team is pretty stacked. In the 1, 2, 3. So I mean, the Yogg champs could easily just pass us this week if we don't have have a good week this week.
And as Slim identified, there's 4 spots of fuel left for you, so that should get you guys all fired up.
You know what? That it's out of context, really. Though last season it was, that was later on in the season, and we were, we were really putting it on people.
Yeah.
And. I don't know, I just had one of those moments, where, it was important to me personally, to see a number 1. But I mean, this season, I kept my friends with me,
Mm-hmm.
and rather than find a new team, we shifted everybody up,
Yeah.
Just to keep, I could have kicked my, I could have stepped away, shifted some people around, and we could have had a whole new team, but. We decided to play together, again, because we had so much fun, last season. So this season, I really don't care what happens. We're having a great time, and I just obviously I want to continue to win, but if we don't, I only want to win week 5.
So wait a minute. Salt. Quick question for you. Does that mean I don't need to send you the apology letter I've been drafting?
No, of course not.
Okay, just making sure.
You could send that my way though.
Oh, I'll send it your way.
You know me, I love content. so it'll find its way out there.
Why are you excited for your week 5, Salt?
We play Entropy.
Yep.
And I really want to win that week. You know, Jack Sox is my old captain. You know, and I really want to do well that week. Like if I had to pick one week where I really want the team on point, that'd be the week.
Week 5. Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right, yeah, so that's what we got for league standings. We'll see how those shift. I'm sure there'll be a lot of interesting changes next week. But,
many moves.
Yeah. So, moving forward, as was released today, Jerry got us the PPR.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's a return.
Got him.
Now, oops, spoilerino. Now, as you guys know, Jerry has a specific system that he uses, or as most of you know. The reason why I'm mentioning that is not everybody knows, so I wanted to quickly, kind of share his mindset of how he does this. He has a formula based off of games won, games lost. He also calculates the percentages of match win, games win, and your opponent's win percentage. So you can have a better record than somebody, but somebody who has almost as good as a record against much better performing players could be rated higher than you, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So we do have them out now that we have 2 weeks worth of data. And I know my mic sucks, so somebody else want to take it? Lemur, maybe you want to go through it?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool.
All right, so we have our list. It's currently on the stream, I'm fairly certain.
Yeah.
But we are going to be doing from the bottom up again, as that is way more fun. In the 10th position, we have Dag Randolph. Dag Randolph is like in chat, by the way. But Dag Randolph just came in. He's a rookie. He's just like, I see you, THL. I'm just going to win. He has 6 wins and he has 2 losses. He's off to a really, really good start. In the 9th position, we have A-Roy. Fresh off a sweep of myself, A-Roy is a very strong player and one that I definitely enjoy playing against, and he has 6 wins and 1 loss currently, which is a common theme on this list, actually.
Very, very.
Cran coming out of NWA, which is extremely interesting to me personally that he's been having such a successful season so far, especially because he just bumped his seed up from where he was last season. Like, he should have been a 3 seed last season, but just the fact that he's consistently continuing to perform is very, very good. So he's in the 8th position. In the 7th position, we have our very own team rank 5 Slimch, who is also 6-1, having a pretty notable victories the last couple weeks, which is extremely important. Just this last week, he took down Drewman 3-0. So Slim has been putting it on this season. In the 6th, we have Bork, actually one of my favorite names again in THL. No idea where it comes from. Fantastic every time I read it. Bork is currently 6-1 as well, coming in from the Harry Generals in the 4 seed, fresh off of a sweep of Lord Forehead. So he's been putting in work for the Harry Generals, being 6-1. In the 5 seed, we have my 1 seed, or in the 5 seed, in rank 5, we have my 1 seed G-Nets, who has been consistent on Avatar since he joined the squad, usually netting out wins and generally having wins by a larger percentage, as we see here. This statistic is a little bit wrong, I believe. I believe he has lost, or one of the series was 3-2, but that was not factored in on the website due to an SHL bug. But he still definitely deserves to be on this list. He's been doing extremely well the last 2 weeks. Moving on to the 4, we have Adidas. Adidas is a very active personality, very, very cool guy, and he has won pretty convincingly these last 2 weeks, only dropping 1 game, which is super impressive, first of all, in Team Hearth League in general. If you're dropping 1 game in 2 weeks of play, you're probably doing something right.
Yep.
He is on the Yog Champs in the 3 seed and is fresh off of a sweep of Jedi Ninja, our Lord and Savior. In the 3 seed, we have the guy I really want to talk about. Salt, do you have an opinion on Raging Rhino?
I wish I did, man. Pink Samus plays against him this week, so I don't have any information on this guy. I know he's tearing it up, though. Six wins, only 1 loss. So, I mean, he is just killing, out there in the 4 seed this season. So, hopefully, I'd like to see him on stream at some point. See how he plays.
Yeah, I definitely concur with that. But speaking of streams, we have the man, the myth, because he will never ever be on stream, Imbolc, in the number 2 position right here. This created a little bit of controversy that we should probably touch on real fast, as Imbolc did receive a 3-0 disqualification this last week. Jerry's formula, when it takes into account for wins and losses, it doesn't look at DQs versus non-DQs, and as such, Imbolc is currently 6-0 in the league as he got a sweep week 1, which means that he would be ranked extremely highly on this list. And we will get back to you if we have any more information concerning that in future installments of ATSS. But we know that it's being looked at, and you don't want to take that away from Imbolc whatsoever. Imbolc is such a good player. Was on Team Rank 5 for a bunch of seasons, had successful seasons there, has been unleashed apparently again this season, shifting over to Entropy. I'm looking forward to Imbolc probably staying on this list. And then in the number 1 position, we have the MVP, Jesus C. One of my personal favorite THL personalities in general. Jesus C is an extremely solid player in whatever seed he ends up playing in. I have to go off against him this week, and I prefaced my email to him by saying, when would you like to schedule my loss? So this Jesus is a formidable guy, great Hearthstone player, as shown by 6 wins and 1 loss this season, and being at the top of the power rankings for week 2.
Yep. So in chat, Jedi would like to know if he is winless because both people he played against are on the list, or are both people
on the list?
Because he played. Yeah. It's hilarious. We'll go with the second one. I don't know.
The second one,
or the first one.
All right, so who do you guys think deserves to be on, or I don't want to say deserves to be on this, all these guys deserve to be on this list. Who do you think is going to move up on this list in the coming weeks, and who do you think may drop off of this list?
That's a good question. I could easily see G-Nets and Slimsh rising. They're middle ground right now, when you can almost always expect them to be on the top. Wherever they are, just based on their history. Even Cran as well. Aroy is probably playing the best Hearthstone that he's played. I've played.
I can attest. He played good Hearthstone.
Yeah. So you've seen what he's doing right now. So I was not expecting him to see him here. Though I'm really happy to see him here. Congrats to you, brother, on the work that you're putting in. That's really my first impression.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like Adidas is going to go up even more. The 3 seed seems really strong for him.
Yeah, I agree.
So I kind of put him right now where kind of like Crayon was last season. In the 4. Where he's probably favored. In a lot of the matches that he's playing. So I definitely think that Adidas is going to go up. I get, based on information, I would maybe Raging Rhino loses a game or 2 and goes down just a little bit. Just not having any information.
Oh no, I'm thinking Raging Rhino is just going all the way through. He's going to tear through CHL.
Just all undefeated. Okay, that works too.
You know me, I'm a fanboy for fun names. So just
Oh,
reading
yeah.
Raging Rhino gives me a Raging Rhino, and I want to keep that going as long as possible. So I'll be rooting for you, buddy.
I mean, this whole list is really strong. It's hard to say that anybody, people are going to have to fall off, but geez, I mean, that's a good 10.
And there were some honorable mentions too. Did we cover those?
We did
No.
not cover those. Nate, do you want to go through the honorable mentions?
Let's see. No, because I didn't put them on the sheet. That means I have to go find them, and I don't want to go find them.
It's cool. I remember a couple. Grim is an honorable mention, if I'm not mistaken. He's having a pretty good season. I want to say that D Lineman was on there as well. I'm on there. That doesn't really matter. I'll probably. I'm gonna misplay myself off of that. So I mean, don't even worry about it.
Key Break 5 Rogue JT was on there. I remember that one.
Yes, having a very good season so far as a newcomer to the league. So yeah, lots of good players, man, so far that are 2-0.
Yeah, so I put that little bit of effort in, and I did find the rest of the list. There's actually some other really good people here. Like when I see Vendi, Bites, Gideon Echo, Zab, Double Os, those are the folks that we miss. Like, I could easily see any of those names pop up on this list next week.
Oh, yeah. WW Los especially. Being, like, the Vicious Syndicate Priest expert, prelim kind of player. Expert. Yeah, he's going to be on this list at some point for sure.
Well, you have to he's got to bring Priest first, right?
No, we can't trigger Brunson that much.
Well, I mean,
not okay.
If you're the Priest expert, then you should play Priest, right? Nah, oh well.
I mean, nah. Cheesy 10 is the mage expert for Vicious Syndicate, and he doesn't play mage, so,
There you go.
This is true. This is true.
Cool. So, well, hey, congrats to you guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's always going to be controversy over these, probably the most on this one than any other, because there's only 2 weeks of data. As more games are played, things will shake out more towards just to the data, who's performing best against those who are also performing best, right?
Yeah.
So, congrats to you if you're on this list. Keep up the good work. And let's take it down the home stretch here, guys. We're going to move on to a little something we created last season called the THL Top Dogs.
Ooh.
This is that moment where you spam chat with the So, Salt, why don't you start us off? Oh, you know what? I'll give the quick explanation for those who this is new to.
Yes.
What we do here is we take all of the data of each player, the games they won, the games they lost. We calculate their win percentage, the series that they've won, and the series that they've lost. And as you know in THL, you gain a point for each game that you win, and a point for each series that you win. So the way that we're ranking these players here is by points scored for your team. Now, what we do with DQs is that we'll calculate the series won into the formula, so they'll get the extra point, but we won't calculate the 3 games won because 3 games weren't played, so we can't technically, rate the performance on somebody on 3 games that weren't played, in my perspective for doing this. Now, when it comes to if you gave up a DQ, we will throw those 3 losses into your games lost because of how much of a bad impact that has on your team and you as a player.
Yeah.
So
DQs are not good. Don't do it.
That's how we do these. And again, there's not a lot of data. We only have 2 weeks, so there's a lot of ties. For example, you might see, the first 2 people listed as 1, they're tied for first, and the following person comes in the 3rd place. That's how that all works. So.
Yep.
Saul, why don't you talk to us about 5 seeds? I see your boy down there.
Absolutely, man. We have our man Dag Randolph in first place of all of the 5 seeds in THL.
Let's go, Dag.
75% win rate. You can't ask for better than that. I mean, It's really good. We have Mr. Phoebus also at 75%. So those two guys are really holding it down, at the top. We got Mr. Grimm, number 3. He's doing really well this season. He's also 2-0.
Yep.
Beat Ham and then Crackshot last week, so that's really good. My own Drudded is number 4. He's got a 56% win rate. I'll take it. He lost to Dag week 1, and we know, Dag is the 5 seed, to beat this season, and it was really close. So, we'll take it. And then we have newcomer Rogue JT in at the number 5, and he is 3-1. So I guess he got a DQ.
Yeah.
Oh, win. Okay. I'll get Daydream. That guy. Right on. So I mean, that's the 5 seeds. We got a lot of good 5 seeds that are up here at the top, and I'm really excited to see how they all, pan out from here. Especially Dag. He's playing really good Hearthstone, and he gave him and Drudded had a really good series. So I know that he plays well.
It's extremely important to note as well that Dag and Phoebus will both not be on the top of the list next week because they play this week.
Yep.
So they got the clash of the top 2 5 seeds in week 3 already. So this will be a really entertaining week to watch out for the 5 seed battles. If someone gets that stream, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd like to watch that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one to see, for sure.
A cool thing and a great thing, in my opinion, to note here is that in the top 5 seed list, we have 2 rookies, and Phoebus, who's just as close to being a rookie. I know he played SPL last season, maybe subbed once in THL, but I believe this is his first permanent spot on a THL team.
Yeah.
Got 3 rookies here.
Yeah.
We do. That's really impressive to me. Coming into THL as a rookie is extremely difficult. I haven't really had the rookie experience because when I started playing the very, very first alpha season of THL, and everyone was a rookie at that point. But I know coming into the league is super, super hard. We've seen even top players kind of crumble at the entrance to the league and kind of have not so stellar records. But having 3 rookies on this list in week 2 is very, very impressive.
Yep.
All right, I think that wraps it up for the 5 seeds. So moving on to the 4 seeds.
Take us through your land, Lemur.
Yeah, we have Ragin' Rhino up on top of the 4 seed with an 86% win rate. Wow. We have 4 people on this list who all have an 86% win rate, which is ridiculous. That's crazy.
You don't see that at the end of the season.
No, you do not. But Ragin' Rhino is on top with a 3-1 over Fez Sama and a 3-0 over Arcane THL. That being pretty impressive in itself. Arcane's no slouch, so getting a 3-0 victory over him is pretty awesome. We see Jesus C also in first place with that 86% win rate, getting a 3 over Rock Base and a 3-1 over God's Gift. Bork is sitting in also first place with a 3-1 over Pink Samus and a 3-0 over Lord Forehead. A-Roy is also in first place with a 3-1 over God's Gift and a victory over some other guy. And Fez Sama is in 5th with a 57% win rate, losing to Raging Rhino week 1, but beating Drubik's Cube week 2. So the 4 seeds, they're looking really competitive right now. Just having 4 guys tied for first going into week 3, it's pretty impressive to me. And there are notable victories in that list. Like I said, Arcane THL, Raging Rhino going over Fez Sama, Bork beating Pink Samus is a pretty big one, I know. Just a lot of really solid players and a lot of winning and losing that is to be done this season. But I'm super excited for it. I'm excited to play all these guys.
Cool, good stuff. Yeah, this is the closest that we've ever seen something like this. That's insane. But let's take a look at 3 seeds. This is my current world over here. Tied in first, Adidas and Cran. Both really strong players. 6-1 against Alec, Jedi, Super Explosive Sheep. Those are tough opponents.
Yeah.
So good looks to them for bringing it in. Third
Especially
place.
Alec.
Yeah.
Alec is a great Hearthstone player.
Yeah, man. Hasn't had the same success that we've seen earlier from him. So it's got to be bad draws. That's the only explanation.
Yogg. He got Yogg.
Yeah.
That's
Lots.
it. There's one reason, and that's it. So coming in behind them, we have Gideon Echo, 6-2, 75% win rate. Knocked Cutthroat into retirement.
Rip.
Yeah, and he went from his 1-9 record to I think he's like.
Nade. Sorry I had to interrupt, but we have to have at least a moment of silence for Cutthroat.
Well, we can just ask. Why don't we just
ask him right now how he feels about this whole thing?
Right. Yeah,
all right.
Randy.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel, Randy?
Aha.
All right.
And there you have it.
Right. Classic Randy.
Oh gosh. You never know when he's not here, boys and girls.
Yeah.
So, Gideon Echo starting off strong. D Lyman and Loaded Lux. I don't think anybody's surprised to see those two names here either.
Oh no.
You know,
good.
If you're Loaded Lux, you expect to be on this type of list. So, really strong players in just the 3 seed.
Oh yeah.
Which is insanity, and I don't look forward to the rest of this season.
Yeah, this is the THL that we play in now. You know, like known, recognizable great players in every seed. You know, it's really great.
Yep.
So with that being said, we can move on to the 2 seeds.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This is a good one. We have no, shit. See, that's not even what I mean.
Humble knuckle.
No.
He's in second, guys. It's okay.
Which is where I should be. But in first, we have Vindy, who is, I think it's a very surprising, great start for him. 75% win rate. He beat 2 very good players, like Thor Smash followed by Houdini.
Yeah, and Houdini is a prelim player, so that's
right.
Impressive.
And Thor's been legend for since day one. I think this month. So, very impressive victories from him. Some other guy I'm at 2. We have Zab at 3. Very good. 6-3, 67%. He's also 2-0. He did 3-1 comp, and he beat MV Parker last week, which is an impressive win for him. Mm-hmm. And then we have Boom Boom Hall, which is always I love Boom Boom to death. He's a really good player. Beat me pretty bad last season. He 3-0'd Red Marsh and then lost a really close one to Pumas last week.
Yeah. For the record, he did not bring Zuladin. Just so you know.
There was no Zuladin?
There was no Zuladin last week.
So
wasn't
there's
there.
never a third win then.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh no. Never mind.
Oh, man.
Whatever.
You did get it backward. That's okay.
And then in 5th we have MV Parker, which again, man, this is another seed. The top 5 is all really good players. Yeah. A lot of solid going on, and then we have players that aren't quite in. Houdini, Thor Smash, Markshire, Crovan Comp. Even Red Marsh, Zab, Pumas. Really just. I think the 2 seed is going to end up. You're probably not going to see 70 something percent at the.
Yeah.
It's just not going to. Probably 63 is probably going to be. That's maybe you get that good. I don't think that you can win much more than that off of Yogg.
The depth that the 2 seed has is definitely impressive for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of depth, Oh, go for it, Nate. My mistake.
No, last season at the end of 9 weeks, we were seeing people finish with some in the 70%, a lot in the 60%. But if you're looking at this list and you're 55% or above,
Hmm.
you're doing amazing. You're doing really, really well. That's
Yeah,
all I wanted to. That's the only note I wanted to point out.
for sure. What I was going to say is that speaking of depth, we're about to move into the 1 seed.
Yeah.
The 1 seed's depth is ridiculous this season. There
Yeah.
are so many good players that it just blows my mind. Uh, and the guy that's on top of that, as he generally is Slim. He is 6-1 this season with an 86% win rate, taking victories over Ridiculous Hat and Dremin, according to the thing, but it's Drew Man. Dremin.
What? Hey.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Drew Man.
What he lacks in height, he makes up for in ranking.
Oh yeah, his Hearthstone play is always on point.
Yes.
And he is the standalone #1 in that position. #2, we have Bites. Now, this is very interesting because Bites started the season as a 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Facing off against Puma's BFF week 1, going 3-2, and then 3-0ing Yalo, ensuring that he'll probably stay in that 1 seed position for at least a couple more weeks. And he has a 75% win rate. And then #3 position, we have 2. One of them is G-Nets, who we spoke about earlier, is 6-3 on the season, 67% win rate. Victories over Houdini and Hamboen, who are both extremely solid players. He's definitely the consistency in Avatar. The other person tied with him is WW Los, who is 6-3 as well with a 67% win rate, taking victories over Dunamis and Hector Hal. Both, again, great players, and WW Los being a prelim player, you're going to expect him to be on a list like this. But he is actually the only prelim player on this list, which is interesting, as Ray C has been struggling at the beginning of the season, and a couple others, including Cheesy. We see Poker in the 5th position with a 5-3 record, 63% win rate, still pretty fantastic. He lost 2-3 to Tony Montana, but then 3-0'd the real Doctor Who last week. Like I said, like Salt said, the percentages you're going to see him drop as the season goes, because all of these players are fantastic players, and sometimes it just comes down to a coin flip because they're all playing on like a level that they're not making many mistakes. So when you're not making many mistakes, you just got to play Hearthstone, and I think the percentages will show that at the end of this season. But congrats to everybody who is on top of their respective lists and everybody who made these lists in general, because that is definitely a big nod to you from both Nate and Salt after the Salt settles.
Yep.
Yeah, this is so much fun to watch these players grow and develop over time. Like, I know this show's designed for you guys, but I have to say you guys make it really, really fun for us. So just keep up the good work. Keep putting your best out there, making your teams proud, scoring those points. Let's get some more games streamed. Team Rank Friday, would love to see a resurge in that. What's the other ones? THL Sunday Ticket. Maybe we can get that
THL
going
Sunday
again.
Ticket. Don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we can try to make it happen. Let's stream some matches.
Yeah, we have so much talent in this league, not just with players, but producers of content as well, that we should by now be able to get some more of that stuff out there. But this is cool. A lot of familiar names here. Great to see some rookies out here. Dag, Raging Rhino, my boy Zab, props to you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This
also,
is cool.
Important to note, according to Team Rank 5 in chat, Jesus has not actually lost this season. It has him noted as 3-1 on the spreadsheet, but apparently he is 6-0.
Oh, okay. So then that is a clerical error there. So that would definitely put him at the top of the 4 seed, just above Raging Rhino and Bork and Aroy, right? So there's a switch of 1 in there. So
still a super close battle.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out. We'll fix that up right away.
And that also solidifies his #1 in the player power rankings too. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe he is the only person to be 6-0, if that stat is correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So awesome, Jesus. I don't think anybody's surprised to hear that. You know. So cool. So hey, last thoughts on these any of these seeds here?
I think they look super solid for what they are. I'm honored to be able to go over them because all these players are such good players, and I'm just sitting back here in awe. But yeah, I definitely think that we're going to see a lot of progression with this list as the season goes on, as it should be. And I'm hoping that a lot of the players on these lists will be able to either stay here or improve on their score.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep. Same. Definitely looking forward to seeing more data, for all this to see who's really, playing well and not yogging.
Yeah, and I look forward to doing top dogs for SHL as well. We'll probably do a much shorter list, given there's so many fewer teams and each with so many fewer players on them.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's fun to track this, and it's cool for you guys to see where you compare, to your peers. And on that note, I'll actually share the full list. What you guys saw was the top 5. I'll post the full top 16 of each so that you can see where you stand, where you need to improve, etc., etc. But well, hey, that's it for us today.
Hey,
nice.
Hour one and done. Episode 1.
That's it.
Had a lot of fun with you, Lemur. Thank you for coming through the clutch. We really appreciate that. We'll definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Cool. Parting words from our guest.
I had a lot of fun doing it. Definitely a great experience. Really, really cool to see the different perspectives on the players in this league and the teams in this league and how everything is panning out and will continue to pan out. And yeah, I just had a really good time. Thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Salt?
Anybody that's part of the late night Quiplash League, Knackle Spackle.
Oh, yes.
Also, quick shout out to Team Rank Bronze, who has been promoted to Team Rank Silver with a victory tonight in Share League.
Oh, shit.
Rep THL over there, guys.
Yeah,
if
man.
If there's anybody to do it, it's you. So keep up the good work.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. Well, that's all for me as well. Thanks for joining us tonight with our new premiere episode of After the Salt Settles with our brand new content, brand new look. We have, I forgot to mention, the poster child of saltiness, Mr. Ancient of Lore, holding it down in the back. He's the poster child of saltiness because he is everything that once was hot and now is not. Which is much of the experience that we have in THL after your week ends and the saltiness is all over. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed the new show, the new content, the new look. There'll be more to come, probably again next Tuesday. We'll let you guys know if it's going to be on a Monday or a Tuesday. We prefer Tuesday, but depends on availabilities. But that's it. Thanks again, Lemur. Thanks again, Salt. Thanks again, Cutthroat.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you guys around.
Thanks, Randy.
See you guys.
All right, man.